was saying the person that he is divorcing is very codependent and controlling, always trying to fix things that I never asked to be fixed. So with that, yes, a lot of codependent people can be very controlling. And it's because they have a hard time walking away from a relationship. So if so that's the difference. So like just how I was saying, okay, it's really important that we choose wisely, that we use this healthy level of discernment when we're interacting with other people and trying to figure out, does this person, do they enhance my life? And obviously kind of, they need to be asking themselves that too with us, but is this a good fit? And is this the kind of person that I want in my life? Codependent people, because they're often operating from this place of, I'm incomplete, you complete me, that they cling on to other people because they're dating or befriending people out of loneliness, and then instead of having deal breaker behavior, they hang on and then they try to get that person to change. But that's not fair, and it is controlling. So, and it doesn't really work either, right? It just annoys the other person, and then it frustrates them. That's why it's so important that we all see things clearly and see other people's behavior clearly and realize kind of what you get is what you get. So to not go into a friendship or a relationship thinking, oh, this person would be so perfect if they would just change or if they would just change, these handful of things about them, because the vast majority of people out there really don't change a whole lot. So kind of what you see is what you get. If anything, most people tend to get worse with time, not better. So, to deal with what is and to see people clearly instead of seeing them for how we want them to be. And that's a hard pill to swallow. And it's hard because oftentimes with an emotional and a manipulator, they sell you this idea of that they are this perfect soulmate for you. And I think that's another reason a lot of codependent people have a hard time walking away, because those kinds of relationships can really foster this level of neediness and this level of intensity that they might have never really felt to that degree before in their life. So where they kind of feel like, okay, this person is like Prince Charming or Princess Charming, and I need to make this work. And so now I'm finding out, oh, they were totally perfect and right for me up until I found out that they get really angry, that they drink secretly, right? They're drinking in the car, in the garage, or that they yell when they get upset, or stuff starts surfacing, and it tends to be kind of a slow process when that stuff surfaces. And it makes sense. Like I get it, where people start thinking like, okay, well, this can be saved. This is just the normal highs and lows of a normal relationship. We can get through this. This is workable behavior. But, they kind of keep going around that same mountain time and time again, where it's the same behavior over and over again, no matter how many times they go to rehab or therapy, or they promise to change or whatever. They just get better at hiding their behavior. So, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to walk away, especially when a person seems like they could be so amazing if there were just these certain things that would change, because that's, and in large part, that's part of the fantasy that they sell us. And here's the thing too, is with these relationships, emotional manipulators manipulate vulnerabilities. I think it's really important to talk about that. They manipulate vulnerabilities, and because we're all human, we all have vulnerabilities. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with having vulnerabilities. It's just important that we're aware of them. And we're going to have different vulnerabilities throughout our life. So if you have a birthday that ends in a 5 or a 0, that can be a vulnerability because the clock is ticking. Or, you're new to a town and you don't know anybody, or you're recently widowed, or you're a single mom, or you're a single dad, or you just turned 35 and you don't have kids and you want kids, or, you're financial, you're broke and you're scared. So again, like there's all different things that can be a vulnerability for a person. It's just, it's really important that we're in tune enough with ourselves to realize what our vulnerabilities are, because emotional manipulators exploit them. And this is why you get a lot of different people that get caught up with emotional manipulators. So, because sometimes if they're, and they go from, they choose their targets based off of what kind of supply they're looking for. So they might be looking for money, they might be looking for housing or transportation or sex or social status or public image. And so, based on whatever they're looking for, is who they're going to target. So, if they have a really well known family, if they're like a Kennedy or a Kardashian, even, if a person's really looking for status, then they might be really love bombing them, trying to weasel their way in and get married to somebody that has, high social status, or kind of what. But again, like I said, everybody's got their vulnerabilities, and these relationships don't often start off as problematic. They often start off as a fairy tale, and then they just slowly, gradually disintegrate into a total nightmare. And anybody really can be susceptible to them, because the good ones out there, the real like sociopaths out there that are incredibly charming, they're really good at what they do. And and not just with like relationships, but like the Bernie Madoffs of the world, where they're manipulating people financially. They're able to hone in on what those people, like, what do those people want? Oh, they want to make a lot of money, they want a good rate of return on their money. Well, that's what I'm going to promise them. And then I'm just going to kind of give them enough hope and give myself enough kind of credibility that they're going to believe what I say, but then everything's going to start kind of falling apart. And
Lots of love to you guys. You are not alone. You are not crazy, and you really can move forward and heal from this.